Yeah. So I went to see the latest Spider-Man movie on Monday. Yeah, and I was actually uh, I I kind of liked it. Here's one thing. For starters, I like the fact that there's not too much action in it. It is an action movie, but it's not really, supposed to be this big, uh, blockbuster. I mean, it's not supposed to be like this some kind of movie where everything is about people who run around and fight and shoot and all that. As with the other Spider-Man movies, there was a lot of that, drama and the villain was really good, well written character because in the beginning he doesn't appear to be a real true villain, and in the end he also kind of well he turned out to be more like an ordinary man than some kind of really evil and almost supernatural kind of villain, and Michael Keaton, of course, did very well. He was really good in this part, and I'm glad that he played it because he really does have the looks, the face for some that kind of part, because he's not a stereotypical villain, and he he brings another dimension, which is that of a more like a human, everyday man who just found himself in an unusual situation where he was able to become uh, almost like, well, in a way, yes, a super villain, because he does have this special flying suit, the vulture, and this special weapon. And I will not give away too much here, of course. So it's, there were a few surprises there concerning his character, which I will of course not give away. But I kind of enjoyed those surprises, I must say. And one more thing, this will give away a little, perhaps, but not too important anyway. Well, it's that Spider-Man, he has a sweetheart, shall we say, or he's in love with this girl, but the movie doesn't end in a stereotypical way. They don't get together really, she has to go away, move away, and so they never really get to kiss or anything. And that's I actually like that because it would have been really, uh, it has been really kind of, sappy and too predictable if they had, like if it had ended with them embracing and kissing and all that stuff and saying yeah I love you or whatever. And yeah, but it didn't happen. Yeah, and that gave the movie some extra authenticity, 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 authenticity. Yeah, that's the word. Even though it's of course a fantasy movie, it is rooted in reality, opposed to, for instance, the Avengers movies and the X-Men, all that stuff. Because it's not about mutants or anything. This kid, Peter Parker, is simply well, you can say he's a mutant, but not in the same way. He was just bitten by the spider who gave him superpowers, but he's not like some like Wolverine who can, has these claws, or Cyclops who shoots gamma rays from his eyes, or X-rays, whatever, gamma rays, and there's a lot of reality here, and even the villain, as I said, is just a normal, human being who just came to possess these extraordinary weapons and equipment, and so he wanted to achieve his goals, just become rich, at the expense of those who are on the top of the society. And Tony Stark is one of them, of course. He appears here, of course. Robert Downey Jr. appearing as Tony Stark is always a plus in any movie, and he didn't disappoint here either. Even though he doesn't have so much screen time, but uh, well, just enough. He's of course some kind of mentor to Peter Parker, and also John Favreau. He was also a rather pleasant surprise as Happy, Happy, who is like Tony Stark's yeah, head of chief of security. Yeah, and he has more contact with Peter than Tony Stark actually, because he acts as his supervisor or something like that, and his aide, his contact, and yeah. So yeah, but then I must say one thing that I must go over to one thing that may not be so pleasant to talk about, but one thing that did surprise. I mean, I had to take notice of that, and I'm sure many of you will. And that was one thing that was peculiar, because this movie is set in the United States, like I'm not sure exactly what place, New York or I don't know. Anyway, I just couldn't understand why 80% of the cast were, you know, ethnical, colored actors. I just couldn't, of course, the hero is Caucasian, and Tony Stark, of course, and uh, John Favreau, but all the rest, almost all the rest are non-white actors and actresses. Peter's love interest among them, and of course, yeah, the villain is is white as always. It's just inevitable. Even though one of them, actually, the villain's right hand, is played by a good African American actor, Bokeem Woodbine. I kind of liked his also performance here, even though it was a minor part, but he had some good yeah, scenes. And so, but that was something that puzzled me, because like 90% of those who played Peter's school mates, school friends were you know non-white. That was kind of odd. I just think, and only the teacher was played by a white actor. That's all. So it's mostly, I don't know. perhaps a part of this new wave of, in Hollywood, sort of darkening, to put it that way, darkening of the of the cast. Yeah, it was, of course. I don't want anyone to interpret this as like I'm kind of racially prejudiced, but it's just I found it odd. It's the first superhero movie where the cast was not actually predominantly, you know, Caucasian. I just found it odd because it's not about like Black Panther. I heard it will be mostly, non-white actors, and that's understandable. It's natural because it's about this African hero and his home country. But this isn't. I just couldn't get it why. So anyway, it was a good movie, yeah, for a superhero movie. I give it like a B plus or 4 stars out of 5. Yeah, there's a lot of good action sequences. Perhaps the best one was when he saves these his classmates from falling. They are in this elevator on top of this Washington monument, and yeah, we will see for yourself. So that was all for me now. Bye bye.